have you all over here. So, good evening and welcome to this session. And I hope that you guys are going to take away something new from this session and and something that you might have not heard before. Or I'm really hoping that this session helps you guys to get to a point where you want to go to, or wherever you are wishing to land in your dream role. So, to give a brief introduction about me, I have been working with Microsoft since the start of my career, and I have got to work with about 25 to 30 product groups at Microsoft and help them with the data analytics. It includes the Bing products, it includes the Copilot products. So, Copilot before it was Copilot. Uh, I've seen the journey of Copilot coming into like full general availability of the audience. So I know how it went through from a very nascent stage and how it got till wherever it is right now. I'm glad to be part of that journey. And I was one among the first data analysts in uh, Microsoft India. We did have data analytics in US teams, but in India there were very less or no data analyst team at that point when I was starting my career in Microsoft. So I've seen the role evolve. The teams have also evolved over the data analytics roles changing with the AI era. So one quick question to you guys is like, have you been following the latest news from Microsoft about the Copilot, and how is your uh, journey with that, and how is your introduction with that? Like, you have Copilot in M365 now doing a lot of things. So did you get a chance to work on that? It is pretty interesting. If you have not got, it is something interesting that you should definitely try and get to know about it first of all. So there are a few questions coming in. I would request that everybody put in the questions in Q&A as well, and we will address those questions, be it to the coding ninjas or be it to me. I will address those questions at the end of this session. We'll keep up 10 minutes for that, and we'll start with that. Chirag, to answer your question, it's going to be about 1 hour of the session. So to begin with, I would like to share my screen, and that would be more uh, good because you guys can get to know what I'm talking. Otherwise, people get distracted in today's world. So let me know if you guys can see my screen. You can put a yes in the chat. Great. Thank you, Yash, Deepak, Ruchi, for confirmation. Great. So, exactly right now we are addressing that how we want to get selected for data analytics interview at Microsoft. So, firstly, why do you want to apply at Microsoft, right? That should be a question, that why do you want to apply for Microsoft? Uh, Feel free to put in few of the responses that what really excites you to work at Microsoft. Why Microsoft, or why FANG? Why not any other company? It would be interesting to know that. So for me, or like most common answers that I have heard that people want to apply at Microsoft is because of the prestige that it's carrying, right? So if you work at a FANG company, it's often considered as prestigious because we get a chance to connect with the people who are from Ivy League universities, be it Harvard, Stanford, even IITs, IIMs, and many such prodigies and intelligent minds we get to connect with over there, right? So that's one important thing that you get it when you apply at Microsoft. And uh, the prestigious companies often, if it's there on your resume, it makes your resume quite impressive and puts you forward in the line of other candidates generally, and they tend to get higher salaries. Is one thing we often see in media, that these people are getting more salaries. So one two things are this, and if you are more enthusiastic apart from the money and prestige and everything, more interesting thing that I looked upon was the specialization and scope, because the minds that's available at these companies helps you work with these intelligent minds, and you get to work on a specialized roles, and you basically work on first hand problems, and you get to work on very niche problems, because these companies have a very diverse network. So that is where you can apply your skills, your brains. So more than anything, if you are interested to put your heart and soul, or you're interested to solve very tricky problems, then I think this is a place where you should be. And one very challenging thing that's there when you want to apply for these companies is that it's a competitive selection process. Not only you, many people are applying for it. For a position, I have heard there can be 10,000s of resumes as well getting posted on those jobs. uh, at least minimum 1,000 of them apply at these companies. So it's a competitive selection, and very low acceptance rates. There are many criteria that they look into. So how we can beat that, we'll figure out in this session. So these are the best things that I could figure out through my experience and through experiences of my peers and fellow mates who I might have met on my journey, and what worked for them. I have covered in uh, these can work for you. Most of the times it should work. 80 to 90% these things work. But again, there are again 10 more percent things that's you can apply on your own as well, or you can learn from your courses and many other places. Okay, so this is a few tested methods that you can try. um so, firstly, I would want to show what type of data analyst job openings you have at Microsoft, where you can see that this is a role which is open in May, where you can see that they are looking for someone who is having analytical skills, data cleaning, data evangelism, integration, integrity mining. And for that, you need a bachelor's degree in maths, analytics, data science. What are the responsibilities you need to see? Because this is something that you need to take care of. That is the thing that you're going to do. So before applying for anything, you just need to take care of what exactly you are going to work on. Is it something that interests you? Imagine you are in a place that you applied, you got into, but you're not liking it, right? So it's something that you should take care of before even doing anything. So this is one such example. There are a few more examples that I picked up, which is again about April, where it is trying to show that the skills required is SQL, Custo. You need to create the data models and many other things. You should be aware of Python. You should be aware of statistical programming languages. So data analytics can be too non-technical, and it can be too technical also. So it depends on what kind of role, which team you are applying, and what project you are getting into. um, I know there are roles, different type of roles that's available as a data analyst, where you don't really need technical skills. Those are something like data annotations or uh, labeling, and all of those people are also sometimes called data analyst. So where you just need some analytical skills, you don't really need a lot of technical skills. So if you find that kind of role and that is something that you like, you can apply for that. But if you're someone technical and you want to explore your technical and you want to apply your technical skills, these are the roles that you can see and apply. So some more which are there in US, where you needed financial analysis knowledge, and you needed certifications like Power BI, and some need SPSS. You need uh, many other things like R and Excel skills. So it depends on which you need to check before you're applying. Why we need to check? Because there's something that you can apply, which we will cover here. There's another opportunity, which is an internship opportunity. And here you can see there are few non-technical skills like being a team player. You should have good knowledge of English and master the handling of Microsoft products. And this is financial risk analysis preferred. So you can see that data analyst profile is quite diverse, and these are just few examples that I'm trying to cover. And these are a lot of titles that you can see in the industry, and every industry has its own analyst role. It can be warehouse systems, integration, supply chain, financial, healthcare, research. So someone who is coming from these backgrounds or have these kind of degrees, for them also roles are available because AI is advancing and we need these kind of people as well in the industry so that can become better, these roles as well. So you can look out for these titles when you are trying to apply for data analyst role. It won't be plain data analyst, but it can be so many titles, C50. And this is not an exhaustive list. There are many such roles available. Sometimes we can also see that there is data scientist and data engineer, business data intelligence analyst, which is not having a data analyst like in their title, but the job that they do could be uh, related to data analyst or more data analysis heavy. So you can look out for these as well before you become a data analyst or before you apply for a data analyst role. Just look at the JD and look at what experiences they are looking for. So we have noticed that these are the responsibilities that a data analyst usually have, which is data collection, data analysis, visualization. Data analysis is nothing but like statistical approach or using Python, R, Excel, different visualization methods to put data analysis into place. And you have something called predictive modeling where you have to know the predictive models, algorithms, and you see you need to know all of these things where you can do the job of the data analyst and forecast the future trends in behavior. So why I am telling all of these things is you can put all of these things in your resume. So these are few critical things that you need to take care before you are applying for a role in any of the big companies. You see, you need to study thoroughly. Blindly applying may get your resume rejected. So it is good that you are taking an approach which is well studied and it's an very nicely placed, and then you're applying so that you get it immediately and your resume impresses the interviewer as well. So there's only one thing that can get you interview at Microsoft is your resume. So your resume can make it or break it, right? So these are the few things that you need to uh, take care of. Okay, few very important things. So why we are talking about these responsibilities and why I have shown you the JD is because how you can tailor your resume to get shortlisted at the top companies. So few points that you need to take care. If you think that it's big companies, so you need to have a very jazzy resume, then that's something that you need to take care that you have to make a simple and easy to read, because we often hear that the HRs take about 30 seconds to look at your resume. Sometimes they even read 300 to 500 emails or scan through the resumes in an hour. So that's a very short span where they would look at your resume, and that should be so catchy and simple that you can catch the attention of the uh, recruiter. So you can do this by being concise and to the point, because they are not going to read the stories, and you have to take care that you're to the point and uh, you need to keep your resume brief. You should ideally have a resume which is not more than 2 pages. Don't try to fill the resume and make it heavy. You can think of innovative ways to make it a good resume. So just try to restrict it to 1 or 2 pages and focus on most relevant information that you can showcase in your skills and experiences. Try to use action verbs. Action verbs like developed, managed, led, implemented are something which you should use instead of vague information. You can use these words so it can match to the job description. Okay, so all of this can happen once you look at the job description carefully, pick up the keywords and phrases. You should make sure that your experiences align with what they are asking for, and you should highlight the attributes you have for that job. Okay, so here, you should take care that you are writing from an employer's point of view, because if it is organized in that fashion where the information is relevant to the employer, then it is making our chances more of getting selected. So that is like, that is the thing that they want to see, right? So if you're trying to show what they want to see, that's more matching, right? Instead of, if they're trying to search what exactly are you trying to show, or if they're trying to search the information that they're looking for, then that makes their job difficult and they would quickly move on from that. And important thing is highlight relevant skills and experiences. You might have done hundreds of things in your college, school, and in your jobs, and where not in your personal life. You cannot put all of them just to show that you have done it. So make sure that you read the job description and put only the relevant skills over there. Make sure you're quantifying for achievements, whatever you have in that section. Don't try to put everything in the experiences and skills, and just pick up the relevant ones for the job. You can tailor obviously for each job. And important thing that people would look for is more than education. If you're not from, or even if you're from tier 1 colleges, they would look at your certifications. But if you are not from a tier 1 college, then your certifications, your courses, your projects can highlight your resume. So do include some certifications apart from just the education. It can help. Or you can have your education like master's, PhD. If you have all of that, then that also helps. But nowadays everybody is using AI, so use AI tools for initial screening that can help you. So basically it can help you to get, are you fitting into the top candidates list or no. So you can ask the AI that, hey, my resume, is it going to fit under top candidates based on the skills that's required for this job. So that's important on how you use the AI uh, tools. Okay, so these are few things that you need to take care when you're trying to tailor your resume to get shortlisted at a FANG company or a Microsoft. And also important thing is to include the keywords, because if you're matching the keywords of the job description, then that's going to like have a great match. So you can if you do that, basically you have the application tracking system, that is the ATS. So that will get your resume matched, and it will help you to get it notified to the recruiter. So try to include the keywords that's there in the job description that can increase your chances of getting your resume noticed. Okay, so these are few things that you need to take care before you start writing your resume or before you're drafting your resume. Okay. Mm, few things that I want to say that you can showcase in your skills. because skills are important part. So when you are trying to include a skills section in your resume, then few things that you can showcase. If you're trying to move from a non-tech role to a data analyst role, which is a lot of ask from a lot of people. A lot of people want to get into IIT. So how you can do not IIT but IT industry. So how you can do that is you can highlight your transferable skill. Even if you're someone who is moving from any other role, who is already in IT but wants to move into a data analyst role, then you need to highlight the transferable skills. So when you are trying for these big companies, these are some key elements that can help you to uh, get selected basically. So these industries will definitely look for a different candidate, not someone who's very regular. So how you can differentiate is by these, like if you're coming from a healthcare and they are getting a healthcare data analyst, then you can basically put all your healthcare industry experience that was related to, or that was something as a data analyst. So these are some transferable skills that you can put in. And you have to incorporate a skills section so that you can highlight or you can bring the skills at the top. And that would help you to highlight your skills, and the recruiter do not really have to search for it, dig through them. So highlight a skills section. Use an action oriented language when you're trying to put your experiences. That is something like star, where you are trying to include a situation. How did you make it into a task, and what was the action and the result of it? Make it into a bulleted point. Use strong action verbs. In this only you can try to show how you got that achievement that you are already putting in there. So you can make correlations between what you're putting in your skills, experiences, and achievements. And that is something which is interesting that you can put in your resume, that how you are doing something related and you're putting it in our resume. So use action oriented language, and mention any certifications on continuous learning that you're doing. If you're continuous learner, these industries keep telling that if you're a continuous learner, that helps. So you can demonstrate your commitment towards continuous learning. So that helps when you try to show that you're a quick learner. So you can use this method to show that you're a quick learner. Then one important or different smart way that we have seen people use is create a resume website. But if you're creating a website, it's a tricky situation. You need to have it in a very uh, beautiful or a very simple way. It should not be complicated where you're trying to ask the email ID and all of that. It should take not more than 30 to 1 minute, 30 seconds to 1 minute to understand your resume if you're trying to create a resume website. Okay. In this website, you can highlight a lot of things, like you can get a portfolio, you can add a link to your GitHub pages or VS codes, and or any other website that you might have created for your analytics work. So building a personal website is time taking. It can be appreciated, but it's something very tricky. It can make you stand out from a lot of pile of resumes, but it is tricky. If you are taking that route, you have to be really careful. Then leverage resume parsing tools. Resume parsing tools is basically where you put your resume in tool, and you will make sure that your resume is formatted correctly. It is including relevant information, making it easier for recruiters to access your skills. So you will know all of these things when you're trying to put your resume in the resume parsing tools. So basically, you are having an automated process of what HR would go through. So try to find some resume parsing tools and try to put your resume in that, and you would get a feedback on your resume. And one important thing that I'm going to give an example also, tell a data driven story on your resume. Then, where, how you can tell this data driven story, stay with us till the last. And it is a very nice example that we are going to cover. And it's a very a smart approach. It can get highlighted if the HR is trying to look it in that way as well. So few unique points of few resumes that helped people get into these companies. Before telling about what exactly a data driven story is, I would like to highlight what exactly is the transferable skills that you can pick up to put it on your resume for a data analytics role. Since we have seen the data analytics role run from a very non-tech role, a very simple job thing, to a very uh, technical oriented or self-driven, these are some transferable skills you can highlight, which are something like analytical skills, which is problem solving, critical thinking, making data driven decisions. So you need to portray that you have strong analytical skills. So it is very much essential for getting selected as a data analyst. So even if you are coming from any background, this is a very important thing. Communication skills also you can highlight, because someone who is having good communication skills um, can convey the complex information to the stakeholders easily. So you need to get accustomed with communicating the ideas, the findings, the recommendations to others. So, communication skill is an important skill. Now, how you are going to highlight it in your resume is trying to show it in the experience or in achievements. And in the summary, also, you can highlight a few things that helped you to do something using your communication skills, be it something like being a team player, and or how you communicated something to the stakeholders that helped uh, get something. So these few things are there. You can take a screenshot of it. I'm not going to cover all of them because of the time constraints and few things that we really want to cover. Um, and there are some real world projects that you can include in your resume, and these are few examples that I could think of. If you have not seen them, or if you have seen them, you can create these and put it in your resume, and this will be something that highlights your resume. So these are some real world projects like sentiment analysis on social media, health and fitness analytics, smart city traffic management. So we are seeing that cities are trying to move into AI these days. Hyderabad, if you know, is trying to become an AI city. So before that, it needs to do a lot of analytics, and these are few things that you can analyze and show. Uh, Companies are trying to help cities become smart, and especially the FANG companies, these projects can help you get into urban wildlife management, cultural heritage preservations. There are a few more things like waste management, analytics, and many other such projects that you can include. um, Few tips that can help you beat the ATS, basically, how the ATS can pass your resume. But before we talk about that, um, I think I'd like to share one experience. Like, currently, we are connecting very easily to through to each other through this platform. But before, like 10 years before, I was not able to connect with so many people so easily. Networking was not so easy. So social media was less found, and finding the mentors was very difficult, right? So today we are able to connect uh, and have this interaction is basically through different platforms. So uh, earlier we used to have these things called masters and phd only. We heavily relied on masters and phd to get into any kind of courses, or if you want to show that we have the skills. So masters played a big role, phd plays a big role, but today we have a lot of courses, a lot of mentors available. So basically, I think that Coding Ninjas is trying to help us to connect with a lot more mentors, and they can help you to get the workshop for a certain topic. And this, like, I'm taking a pause before I could discuss few things like uh, real time tracking, like how you can get out of the ATS. Before that, I would just ask Coding Ninjas if they could share a form that we discussed that can help the audience to put their request to connect with any other mentors or me. And if you want to have some topic for the workshop, or you want to get a personalized help, so this form can help you answer a lot of questions. So I'd request Coding Ninjas team if they can provide you this form, and you can take a minute to basically fill this form so that you they can reach out to you.
Yeah, sure. It's in the chat box. So, guys, what Pradita here is trying to say is that in today's like competitive world, it is very important, not just important, but crucial to have a solid roadmap, a structured path, which was not so accessible back in the time. But now, since we have so many programs that not just offer training, but they offer placement assistance as well. And one such program is Data Analytics Job Bootcamp, which is a 6 months comprehensive program with placement assistance till job. And we also have another version of it which comes with an E&ICT Academy IIT Guwahati PG certification. So we have two versions of it, but all in all, they we are offering a program which is a blend of learning plus then placement assistance till you land your first job and the job that you deserve. So this form, by filling up this form, you will receive a call back from our team and you'll explore what could be ideal roadmap for you, how and if it can be helpful to you. You'll get to know that if you have any scholarship options available in case you plan to enroll, a chance to connect with mentors like Prerita or alumni who have been on the same path like you. So you can fill up the form. If you guys have filled up the form, you can drop done in the chat box and we'll resume with the session in few seconds. Yeah, thanks for the responses, guys.
Take your time to fill the form that Anshika is sharing, so that Coding Ninjas can connect with you to resolve a lot of personalized questions that you might have, or if you're looking for some other information about what Coding Ninjas offer. Um,
Whosoever has filled the form can get back to the session. Prita, I think we can resume the session now.
Okay, so this is about how you can have some tips uh, uh, on your resume that can help you to go through the applicant tracking systems. So here, applicant tracking systems are basically a tool that is used by the companies to uh, like scan through your resumes and get their work easily done. So here resume passing would be done. Your resume is checked for certain things, like you have relevant information, what's your contact details, what's your experience, and what's your education. All of these things get checked. So it's necessary that you include all of these things so that your resume is not falling out because of these things. Then there is something like keyword matching. Although there is a lot of keyword matching happening through ATS, you cannot stuff it with keywords. You should regularize it and not make it like a heap of keywords. Okay, definitely ATS use keywords matching, but you should know how to make it balanced. then make sure you check with the spelling and the grammar, because if you are putting incorrect grammar or something which is not a proper spelled out word or something, that also shows that there is something missing in your analytical skills, or your resume is not proper. So make sure you're checking this. um, don't try to mirror the job description wording. Try to uh, like use few words which could be synonyms, and don't try to copy paste the entire job description. Try to make it into your skills, like what skills you have, you try to portray using it and how it matches the job description. You can use some words, but don't make it exactly the job description. So you can use few wordings from job description. Then use a simple layout that helps you to get through the ATS, and try to avoid the complex formatting. And if you are having missing like contact information is not there in your resume, it can maybe come out as something like how would the recruiter contact you. So make sure that you're including contact information, few things that can help you go through the ATS. Then something that I spoke about is how to draft a data-driven story that will sell, that will help your resume. Is this format where you tell a story, visualize your data, and focus on impact. So, how you can do it, where you can do it. Uh, let's see. I am trying to get an example and show that this is how you can have a data driven story. Is you can have an introduction, and based on what responsibilities are required, you can mention that you have done this in the project, like how you did the data collection, how you did the analysis, what were the results, and how you implemented it, what was the impact, and how it's concluded, right? So this is a story that you can craft for uh, your resume. Now you might be having question that where do you put this story, because we are trying to get an interview first. Like before getting the interview, where do I put this? One answer is cover letter, yes, but in cover letter, how can you cover entire thing? So the answer is that you need to put these in your different sections, be it in the professional summary, be it in the work experience, in projects, and in skills. So this is how you would craft a data-driven resume, where you are trying to tell a story as well, and you're trying to correlate everything, where you can show that you worked on so and so project, and this is how the experience works, and this was the project where you were trying to do something, and what was the impact of it, and how that have improved your skills. That also you can highlight on your resume. So if someone is trying to look into or skim through your resume, also they might look at the first few lines, which is your relevant or your current present experience. So if those are correlating, that can also help. Your entire resume is not read, but your initial points are read, and that can help you get through. So this is something that you can do in your resume differently. So some of the common resume mistakes that can like sabotage your chances, that I have tried to cover in a previous slide also, but few things that I want to highlight more is like if you're trying to put some irrelevant experience, that would affect. If you are not having enough data to back up your skills and all of that, then that is also going to affect. So try to use the numbers if you want to quantify your achievements whenever possible. This will help you to show your impact. Don't try to have a very generic resume for all the job applications. Try to customize. Don't try to put the same resume and apply in thousand positions. Try to customize, spend a little time and put customize it. Try to have a clear cut formatting. Don't try to mess it up, or have fonts of different sizes and colors. So have a good formatting. Don't try to mention vague skills that would just stuff up your resume. So try to highlight those skills which are very relevant to you and job. Be specific about it. Provide examples. So that is how you can use a data driven story method to put it in your resume, and you can show your skills. So you would eliminate that vagueness of your skills, and you're trying to show that you really have those skills. If you have incorrect file format, then the recruiter cannot get into it, and uh, automatically it's getting rejected. Try to use professional file name. Don't try to have lengthy resumes. Have a good resume of short and sweet, uh, but relevant. Try to avoid unprofessional email address, basic things. Missing keywords. If you are not having coherent sentences, or if you're not having any keywords related to the job, then uh, automatically your resume is not relevant. And do not try to share personal information, a lot of it. Try to keep it professional. Don't try to use inappropriate template having pictures, videos, and tables and all of that. Try to avoid all of those things. Use a template which is suiting the industry and the job that you're applying for, not anything and everything. If you're applying for a UX designer, your resume is good and designed enough, it makes sense. But if you're not applying for that kind of role, it doesn't have to be too jazzy. And try to avoid lies. If you have not done it, keep it away. At these companies, it would get caught very easily, so try to avoid that. um, then few other things that you can take care while you are trying to prepare for your interview. Once you have got your resume shortlisted, so a few things that you can take care is research the company. And while also preparing for the interview, before interview, when you're trying to write the resume also, you can take care of these things, where you try to research the company, like what exactly are the Microsoft's vision, values, and the recent projects. If you're doing something related to the recent projects like the EI Copilot and all of that, then your resume is definitely at par with what they need. I think a job is opened because there is a problem to be solved. So if you are trying, or you are a solution to that problem, then that makes your resume more like a likable one or pickable one. So take care of that, and that's how you research the company and put it in your resume. Then understand the interview process. This will help you to get exactly what you want to prepare and how you have to take care of certain things before interview. So Microsoft generally follows a collaborative interview process, which is having multiple interview rounds, and it is a structured format for every role. It's different structure for every role, but it is a structured format. So meet with few people, or who have already attended the interview, who have cracked the interview, who have not cracked the interview also. You can read through their experience, connect with them, and get to know. So familiarize yourself with the roles and the responsibilities, because those things are only going to come into the interview. So make sure that you are taking care of those. Try to have virtual interviews with your seniors or your friends, your peers, the mentors, and wherever possible, try to have a platform where you are practicing the virtual interviews. That will eliminate your nervousness, or that will eliminate your inhibitions, and that will give you one sort of round of how it could be at Microsoft, and you would not mess up at the first go, right? So practice virtual interviews. Prepare for technical rounds if there is technical skills included. Just not putting the course on your resume would help. They will definitely ask you questions, so prepare for it if your interview is going to happen, because they can ask any question. It could be basically something like problem solving, or it could be something like any technical questions, or you need to solve some problems. So it could be something that you have done in your resume, like already you have created some report, they would ask you to do that as well. So if you are putting something on your resume, make sure that you are preparing and going. Then few other things which are important is behavioral questions. You can use something called a star framework to answer those questions. It is something like based on your past experiences and how you handle various situations, uh, makes your answer a good answer. So because a lot of people would come up with same skills, what would set you apart is your behavior also at times. If two resumes are matching exactly, both of you are having Power BI, what is required in the interview, what is required for the job, how would you get differentiated, how well are you fitting in the team, also comes into the picture. So behavioral questions will definitely come up. So be prepared for that. If you're putting anything in your resume, make sure you are aware of what you have put and answered behavioral questions according to that. Then know your competencies, such as not only the technical ones but the adaptability, be it collaborations or something like you have done something to satisfy the job that was there earlier. You have met the goals, you have a customer focus role, then you how did you drive that. Those are some of the competencies that you can demonstrate through your past experiences. So if you have these skills with you, try to include that in the answers, because uh, sometimes that may not get highlighted in your resume, but in your answers that can show up and interviewer can like it. So try to show your competencies, but before showing that you should know exactly. So list down and take care of them before you go into interview. Excuse me. So with these things you can also request for any kind of uh, recommendations or accommodations for interview process. So you can request for uh, this for you can approach someone from Microsoft and you can try to say that, hey, I want to have an interview for this one, so can you exactly help me out or something of that sort. So you can request for that. And in case you want something like if you want something like to have it in your to have it in your city or have it in your virtually, that also you can try to place a request if possible. Mostly this may not get accepted, but you can try, and if it is getting accepted then you can try to get a supportive environment as well. So few things that is there as you can see in the interview rounds are these are few rounds that will definitely be there. So not all of them, but a few of them would be there, or sometimes all of them can be there, but it would be among these only the interview rounds. um, so initial screening is something that is done by the HR. You typically have it through the phone call or in video interview. HR does that. Your resume is getting scanned and they would say what's your background like. They are checking your background and experience and what's your interest in the role. That also matters, right? If you are applying vaguely and you're not interested, this initial screening can understand that. So initial screening is that where you're trying to show your interest and background and experience, and you can this HR can discuss the resume with you exactly, so that they get to know your resume more, or any other relevant projects that might be not there in the resume but you can highlight it in this initial screening also. In technical interview rounds, as the name goes, there might be rounds testing your technical skills, and it can be any questions. It can be problem solving or any sort of technical questions. Scenario based and hands on are something where they would give you a scenario and you need to address it either verbally or you can do hands on and show them. Behavioral questions I have covered, and managerial and team interview round is something which is definitely going to be there. Domain specific comes when you are trying to apply for a domain specific role. So these are the few things that I wanted to cover through our session today. I hope there was something that you guys learned, and this might have helped you organize your thoughts as well, or made you contemplate about how you want to take things, and and is it your cup of tea or no? I think this might be a little helpful. So I would take this 10 minutes to answer your questions if there are any that's put up in our Q&A. So, Rupesh is saying that, ma'am, it is really difficult to get the freshers a job in 2024 market. I would say that it's true and it's not as well, because there are freshers who are getting the job also. It just depends on your skills, your adaptability. Are you able to show it on your resume or no? Your resume might be missing something, is what I can say. And also, since it's an AI era, everybody is racing. So you don't know at what stage those people are. So you need to think from all point of view, and you need to make it happen. Okay, so freshers are getting jobs. um there is something like, okay, there are questions around what are the salaries. Pranav is asking what's the entry level salary for data analyst. It depends on team to team, it depends on company to company. It can start from 4 lakhs to, even it can go to 18 lakhs to 20 lakhs as well. So it depends on which team you're applying and which company you're applying, what skills you hold. Uh, there's another question like, okay, IIT Kharagpur have an ATS score of 80 plus, having all relevant skills like SQL, Python, MS Excel, W, still getting rejected while applying. So yes, like I told you, ATS is also getting smarter with AI. So you need to have something like data-driven story in your resume, or your behavioral skills, or something might be missing that's important for that team. So that's why it might be getting rejected. So it's very much necessary that you have some kind of hand holding or some kind of interaction with the people who are already in the industry, because freshers are not exposed to the real world so much as it is in the corporate world. So for that, I think some uh, experiences like, there's a boot camp offered by coding ninjas that can help you. Sort of boot camp is basically something which is trying to give you a virtual experience, a beta experience of the real thing that you're going to experience. So yeah, um I'll take a couple more questions from all your people, if there is anything. Q&A, 1 second. Okay. Did your hackathon experiences, Yash Verma is asking, did your hackathon experiences play a significant role in your selection in Microsoft? So I have won hackathon projects, or participated in those projects which have won the hackathon um, in Microsoft, before Microsoft. I did couple of hackathons, but as a volunteer, and I hosted those, so that kept me apart from the entire crowd. And I was selected before the hackathon experiences. So yeah. Um, Arun is asking, I was trying to switch my career from tax analyst to data analyst, and I recently did MS data analyst certification, but my resume is not getting shortlisted, and I haven't received any interview call. Can you suggest any solution? So sometimes it's the luck also which can play the role, and there are many factors that can play a role. Like it's just a fraction of second which can reject your resume. So I would say it needs a lot of rigor, lot of patience, lot of experiences that you need to take care when you're trying to apply in these companies, because earlier there was not so much of awareness of these companies, but now because of the social media there is so much of awareness of these companies that there are no um, there's no lack of candidates. So there's a possibility that the candidate they wanted was found in the first 100, and you were someone who applied at 110th position. So it could be just a pure luck also at times. So it's just the patience that is required is what I can say. Don't get disheartened when you are not getting selected in these companies. There are experiences where recently I saw someone telling about 50 times they got rejected from Microsoft. Uh, we sometimes get disheartened when we don't get selected one or two times, but he kept applying. I would not say that you keep on applying that way. You're wasting your time also, but you need patience. And yeah, so he got selected at 51st time. So yeah, and the tips that I have shared apply maybe that can maybe that was missing in your resume already, that can help you. Any questions that the coding ninjas or team want me to answer from the Q&A that they see? Abhijit.
Hey, thank you so much, Prerita, for the session.
Okay.
I think, as I can see, there are a lot of questions around job bootcamp only and how to transition from a non-tech profile to tech profile. So I think it's time for me to call out Karan Khanna, who is a senior program expert here, and he will help you with the, what could be the ideal roadmap for you and how coding ninjas can help you with that. So, hey Karan, if you can hear me, the stage is all yours, and the audience is all yours to interact with.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much, Anshika. And thank you so much. I would like to thank the mentor for such an insightful session. So I'll just start with my introduction first of all. So guys, my name is Karan, and I am the senior